Kathie Obradovich, political columnist for the Des Moines Register. We're just over 10 weeks away from the Iowa caucuses, and the new Des Moines Register Iowa poll of likely Republican caucus goers shows a very tight race among the leading contenders. Herman Cain rises to the top for the first time in the Iowa poll. His support is only 1 percentage point better than Mitt Romney, whose results in the Iowa poll have been relatively static. Ron Paul rounds out the top three, and at 12%, he's the only other candidate in double digits. It's far too early to predict a caucus winner, and the Iowa poll shows the race continues to be very fluid. Nearly 6 out of 10 caucus goers say they could still change their mind, and 15% haven't landed on a first-choice candidate. We've been hearing a lot of that from Republican voters. So the race is still a toss-up, but there are some warning signs for Romney. He's not popular with those who say they'll definitely attend the caucuses. Cain, Paul, and Michelle Bachmann all have more support among these engaged voters. And that's really important on a caucus night when it can be really cold. Romney's support comes mostly from people who say they'll probably attend. That's not a surprise given that he's the choice of self-described moderates who generally aren't as passionate about turning out. Another point to note, many of Romney's voters are over 65. One other caution flag for the Romney campaign. He's leading with people who consider government experience more important than business experience. Romney's been emphasizing his time in business and downplaying his political resume. But it's Cain, the former Godfather's Pizza CEO, who leads with those who say business experience is more important. Cain is by far the most likable candidate right now. Only 3% of caucus goers choose him as the candidate they like the least. That dubious honor goes to Bachmann, who just edges out Romney. But it still remains to be seen whether Cain can ramp up a campaign organization in Iowa fast enough to ensure that he matches or exceeds his poll numbers on caucus night. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the field for just a second. The second tier of candidates is also tightly packed, with Bachmann at 8%, Newt Gingrich and Rick Perry each at 7%, and Rick Santorum at 5%. John Huntsman, who's not even running in Iowa, polls 1%. Bachmann performs slightly better in Iowa than in national polls, and she gets some love from Tea Party supporters, although not as much as Cain does. Perry's doing a little worse than his national rankings. Although some conservatives have been talking up Santorum's chances, he's gained no traction since the last Iowa poll. The Iowa poll of 400 likely caucus goers was conducted Sunday through Wednesday by Selzer & Company. It has a margin of error of plus or minus 4.9 percentage points. And you can see all the poll results and all the Des Moines Register coverage and analysis at DesMoinesRegister.com/caucuses.